All right, the purpose of today's podcast is to pull out the genius of the Buteyko breathing system from somebody who has studied it, mastered it, implemented it with tons and tons of clients and with his own life. And we're just going to dive right into it today. Misha, Sakharoff, what is the Buteyko breathing method? In the simplest way of explaining it, how would you teach it to somebody that, maybe never heard of the idea?
Hello, Max. Hello, everybody. And thank you very much for joining and for arranging to Max and for joining all the others. And basically, um, you know, um, we spend our lives chasing more, right? More energy, more time, um, a lot of different things, But today I want to flip that on its head and talk about getting more by doing less breathing, to be precise. So, um, basically, what is Buteyko breathing? It's about kind of turning down the volume on your breathing so your body can finally listen to itself again. And so it's very much about relaxation, very much about relaxation, very much about breathing, being in this moment. It's not about square breathing or breathing in on two, breathing out on four. It's not about that. Um, Basically, Dr. Konstantin Buteyko, he discovered in 1952, so that's 73 years ago, that most of us will live in a subtle but constant state of overbreathing. Um, and it's like, when you don't pace your drive, you're like revving a car engine at red light, wasting fuel, stressing the system. Um, and I'm an engineer, so what I care about, it's energy coefficient. We call it energy coefficient. I want energy coefficient be closer to 1 all the time. So
What
um,
does that mean?
it means that the fuel we get in, the energy in form of the fuel we get in, like food and sun and oxygen, it gets translated, it gets basically used to the same energy as output. It's not possible because there's always will be a little bit less. So it's not 1 to 1. So it's going to be less. But the problem is that most of the people, they run like 50% efficiency or 30% efficiency, or in some situations 20 or 10% efficiency. So, and it's not about only physical efficiency. It's about the immunity, how immunity works, how physiology works. So basically, the twist here is it's not oxygen we are missing when I'm saying that we are constant state of overbreathing. Not about oxygen. It's a tolerance to carbon dioxide, something we call CO2. It's a basically CO2. It's a kind of we used to call it a kind of a waste gas, but in reality, it's a kind of a quiet backstage worker that helps oxygen actually get into the cells. Okay, so you lose it too quickly, and it's like um, owning a fridge full of food you can't actually eat. So basically, what it does, CO2, it allows, oxygen is transported in our blood flow by our blood, um, by red blood cells and hemoglobin in the red blood cells. It connects to the oxygen molecules and transporting. That's the transport, basically, oxygen transport in the blood. And carbon dioxide allows it to disconnect, to detach. So the more carbon dioxide, the more oxygen will be detached from hemoglobin to the cells. So basically, you can run like your engine with a lot of fuel, but it's not gonna go to the drivetrain. it's going to be missed in the system. And that's basically where your carbon dioxide tolerance is too low. So the threshold for carbon dioxide is too low. You cannot tolerate a lot carbon dioxide. So basically you can have a lot of oxygen into the blood, but you will not transport it to the cells. So the destination, it's not just the blood. Destination is the cell. So
What is
basically the Buteyko
what's
method.
the I was gonna ask about like just on that point because I don't know if it's that easy to understand for maybe people just hearing the concept. Because I remember growing up and I was taught to take deep breaths in to calm myself down. So it was always about deep breathing, and that just made sense to me because, oh, okay, I need more oxygen, so I'll take more oxygen in, and then more oxygen will be good for my cells. But like you kind of saying, you're saying the opposite basically with the Buteyko method of you take more oxygen in, but you're getting less to the
um,
cell in a way.
exactly. And here I can tell you, um, because I believe there's a lot of athletes listening to this podcast, right? To this webinar. So basically, when we call it hypoxic training. When we do this hypoxic training, and yes, it's about breathing less, um, about coding your system, rewriting your code so you can tolerate more carbon dioxide. And in order to do that, we do different kinds of, we call it hypoxic training. And basically an interesting fact that it increases the production of the hormone that athletes know all too well. It's a hormone erythropoietin, EPO, or EPO, how do you say, in the kidneys. Um, and basically, when we breathe less, the oxygen saturation of the blood can go down from 95, maybe 98 to 90. The spleen contracts through the smooth muscles, and the spleen releases blood cells into the circulation. So that's an interesting thing. So basically, I'm telling you, we can use we can make more effective use of EPO without taking the drugs.
Hmm.
That's an interesting. We are optimizing the disassociation of oxygen from hemoglobin. And at the same time, we increase the carrying capacity of hemoglobin in relation to oxygen molecules. Basically, it's another way of saying, like in a simple way, the less you breathe, the more oxygen comes to the blood. Um, and so, so this is may sound very much against everything you heard before about breathing. So breathing through the nose also has a lot of different aspects of it. It enables breathing through the nose only. And I also train, when I started my work, I also trained athletes in that. And I can tell you it's possible for every athlete to do it in different situations in a different way. But I myself, when I train tennis every day on court, I'm, you know, I'm using a taping my mouth to not breathe through the mouth.
Hmm.
So basically what we do, Buteyko method, is about restoring that CO2 tolerance so we can tolerate more, and it will bring breathing back to its natural rhythm. And the result will be more energy, more calm, more presence, but also we can reverse many diseases of civilization with that. And that's what I'm doing on my programs. I'm not only helping
Wow.
people like athletically, mostly I'm working with people that have a different degree of disease, some illness. Yeah.
Is
So
is the idea with the nose breathing to like never ever breathe through your mouth, or is there ever a case where you would breathe through your mouth? And what is,
yeah, there
can you
will be.
explain why? Yeah.
There will be. Well, basically in the situation of real acute stress, in the situation of war, or in a situation when you you are injured. In a situation, let's take a situation when you are injured. In a situation where you're injured, it's a good idea, and paramedics will say to you, you need to overbreathe. Breathe, 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 breathe. So basically, when you're overbreathing, your bloodstream is you are not missing the blood from the bloodstream. You are not bleeding because it's a vasoconstriction works, not vasodilation, but vasoconstriction, constriction of blood vessels when you overbreathe. So you can, in some situation, you can survive by hyperventilation. And that's situation when you're injured and you have a severe injury. So basically, it saves your life. Also, in the situation when you experience a pain that you cannot, well, you can overbreathe in a situation when you experience very strong pain. For example, in a kind of a Russian system, it's called Sistema. It's a Russian martial art system called Sistema. We had training where we've been standing at each other's how do you call it, backsides of the legs when we've been sitting at the at the knees, and other our trainers or our people that were on the seminar, they were standing back so for us to experience extreme pain, to be able to handle it with breathing. And in this situation, when it's extreme pain, it helps over breathing, but through a pursed lips, like this, it helps very much to handle extreme pain. In
Mm.
many other situations, or for example, when you are in when you're swimming and crawl, you cannot breathe through the nose, and you can sustain good levels of CO2 by breathing through your mouth, because when you take like one only one breathe on like eight
Yeah.
how do you call it, strokes, on 8 strokes,
Strokes.
for
Yeah.
example. Yes, so you will still have a lot of CO2. So this is basically applied breathing, applied techniques. So in some situations, you need to know when, yes. And it also, in some situations with health problems, you cannot use diminished breathing because of it can lead to bleeding. Like for example, when you have when women have internal tumors, and you cannot use pauses or anything. So you need to know there's a lot of precautions. You need to work with a trainer that really knows all the aspects of it. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So how did you come across the method itself, and like what's your experience been with it?
Um, well, I knew about Buteyko from the country where I'm born, from Soviet Union. I'm born in a country that doesn't exist anymore, Soviet Union. And so I heard about Buteyko there, but I did not really practice until I found I reached an age where I started feeling that when my health was like, let's say, the warranty was about being expired. It's like when you're 35, 35, 40, you pass from child, how do you call it? An age where you can have children, and basically into the age where you stop. How do we call it? Remember the um, so
Childbearing?
yeah, childbearing. Yeah, I forgot the word. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So basically, 35 is a kind of an age when the system changes, and what changes is that there's no natural health anymore. So you need to care about your health. Before 35, um, the nature was caring about your health. It was natural health. Basically, nature was interested in you
Hmm.
surviving because you need to
Reproduce.
reproduce. Yeah, it's called reproductive and post-reproductive age. So
Okay.
yeah. So basically, I started having problems with my heart, and that's when I remembered Buteyko, and I started reading, and then to save myself, basically, yeah. There's some webinars when I'm telling a full story. I was overworked, overtrained, and ironically also overbreathing. So the the solution was to basically to try to learn a new way of being and try to cope with the stress. And the stress was big. So basically, it was coping with the stress with Buteyko method. That's how it started. Yeah. So it was around 20 years ago.
Well,
Yeah.
was that the first thing you did for your health? That was like you didn't look into nutrition or exercise or things like that. Like you just started, you went right into breathing.
Yeah. Basically, that's what I did. That's what I did because um, well, I believe I started doing paleo at that time also,
Okay.
changing, yes. And I was a vegan before, not a vegan, but vegetarian. I was vegetarian.
Okay.
Not a long time, but
Wow.
I started really revising what I'm doing. And then I came, I came across, remembered Buteyko, and I started, I took a course with a Russian trainer and then with another trainer. So basically, about stop breathing so much, not from through controlling the breathing, but through relaxation. So I started working with the structure very much with relaxation based on good structure because I saw that my structure was compromised, severely compromised. My head position was compromised. My shoulder position was compromised. My hips were compromised. My feet were compromised like this. So there's a lot of things. So I started working with movement. And when I started working with movement, I understood that I need to work with and connect breathing and movement, basically. So that started with structure. That was first thing. And then relaxation, then breathing. Yeah, so slowly, like the light started coming back on, more sleep, steadier energy, a brain that wasn't running in panic mode, and I always call it Buteyko method. I didn't invent this. I have some exercises that I invented, but they're all based on Buteyko idea. I'm not renaming what I'm doing to sound kind of cooler. So I'm respecting the lineage, and lineage matters, I believe, very, very much. So I pay deep respect to Konstantin Buteyko. I read his books, and what I'm doing is Buteyko technique, basically with breathing. Yeah, I have some
He
of
wrote
my,
a few
yeah,
books.
he wrote some books also, yeah.
Oh, cool.
And some of them are translated into English. Yeah.
Huh. So what did you start to notice like as you started doing them? Like what kind of benefits did you notice? And then also long-term benefits because you've been doing this now for you said 20 years. So like what has changed the most? I mean, I know most people associate breath work in general with like relaxation and that kind of stuff. Um, but are there benefits beyond that too?
Yeah. Look, there's some good stuff that is happening basically, and that's a good stuff that will happen for everyone. Steady energy. That's the first thing. So I have no afternoon crashes. It's like very, very steady energy. Better sleep, the kind where you wake up knowing that you actually rested and you need less and less time. When I trained a lot, my sleep was 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours.
Wow.
And I used to go to sleep at 12 and wake up at 4:30. Now my sleep is 5.5 hours. So I go to bed at 11 and still get up at 4:30 all the
And
year
you
round.
train, you're saying the more you train, then the more efficient you were with the
Yes,
breathing.
the
And
less, yeah. So basically, when you have high CPs, high control pulse in Buteyko, your need to sleep is around 4 to 4.5 hours, but that requires serious work. And you have very calm mind. Your nervous system um, finally takes its foot off the gas, and you don't use the energy when you idle. So improved endurance. My workouts feel smoother, more controlled in a soft way. I mean, like soft control, faster recovery from stress, from colds. And I used to have colds all my life, serious
yeah,
colds. And also, there's a lot of health problems that basically, so, with this technique, I stopped my heart problems. And that's how I made the program basically. Yeah. So the real driver, the most important driver was problem with my gastrointestinal system. I thought that I had actually cancer in somewhere in the gut because they have a lot of symptoms, but also in this connection, I also changed the way I eat. That's how I came to the paleo and then to keto and then to carnivore and then to essential ketogenic, combining ketogenic and carnivore. And so when I healed myself, I started helping others to heal. So
well,
yeah. So the magic isn't in doing more. It's in removing the stressor, the hidden stressor that was quietly burning through reserves. And in my situation, it was, and I mean, in all the situations, it's breathing because that's your first reaction to chronic stress. That's your first reaction. And when people are, cortisol levels are slowly elevated, adrenaline levels are slowly elevated. They are markers of two different systems, acute stress and chronic stress. So another way around. Yeah. So basically you heal because your system comes in balance. And it's about, you see, as an engineer, I see it like we know about homeostasis. Homeostasis, it's some automatic regulation inside of our system. You heard about it, right? And
yep.
then we have something that is called allostasis. So allostasis, it's seen from the environment because there's a lot of environment stressors in our system. We're not a closed system. Our body is not a closed system because we are under constant bombardment of different stress vectors. And
Hmm.
our ability to maintain our balance, our homeostasis, is called allostasis. So it's
So
your
you're
homeostasis.
maintaining like a homeostasis depending on how many toxins are in the air, on your skin, or whatever it
Yeah,
might be.
exactly. A lot of different things. So it's called allostatic resilience. And in my system, we have three kinds of allostatic resiliences. It's a mental resilience. It's how you look at your environment and how you perceive your environment, basically. That's what runs our genes. It's called not basically
Epigenetics?
epigenetics, right?
Yeah.
That's our perception of the environment that runs our genes. It's our mental resilience, and basically mental resilience regulate the balance between physical resilience and immune resilience. So this is very important. This is very, very important. And breathing is in the fulcrum of mental resilience, because that's the way how we can train it, and that's the way how we maintain calm, good structure, good balance throughout life. So
When you
basically,
use fulcrum, I mean, I'm thinking of like in physics where it's like the pivot point. Is that how you're using
exactly,
it?
exactly. Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
how, what do you mean by that then? It's like a metaphor?
It's like a metaphor. Yeah, absolutely. So everything turns around these breathing points. Basically, I'm referring to Hara point. That's
Oh,
what I'm reminded. Hara point is the fulcrum where everything connects. All the knowledge that you learn in your allostatic resilience, that you train every day, it goes there. So your belly learns, your belly becomes this center, really almost physical, your hara center.
can you explain the Hara point and where you got that and how it relates to the breathing?
So, hara point. So basically, I can explain it by referring to the practices
Yeah,
that
sure.
you guys can start already today. And that's a practical part. So, and I have an app, a free app where you can train it. So in this app, I have 3 breathing meditations, and all of those breathing meditations are specially made for you to learn the background for really sensing the hara point. And the hara point is your ability to be in your senses um, in the situation of some stress vectors in the environment. So when you remain in your senses, you can sense your body, not being in your head, in your thoughts, not being in your feelings, bad feelings or good feelings. And normally when you are there or there, it connects together and start running your behavior, your thinking and your feelings, heart hurt, you know, and the thoughts. So it connects and start running your system. And you cannot disconnect it unless you can sense something in a physical way. And
Hmm.
what is smart is sense your body, because that's something you possess and you bear with you. It's your dojo. So to say, it's the dojo that is always with you. It's your training room. Your body is your training room that you have with you all the time. So it's smart to use it. And the point of contact there, that's the hara point. That's the top of your belly, 3 centimeters or 3 inches under the navel, top of the belly. That's if you sense, for example, I have a t-shirt here saying 1984.
Is not what? What does it
It's not
say?
an instruction manual. So basically, when I'm walking, I can sense how this t-shirt rubs over my top of my belly. And that's a
Okay.
sensation. It's not a feeling. It's not a thought. So it's not a thought. It's not a feeling, but it's a sensation. Sensation, it's a physical sensation. So when I'm sensing this, while I'm sensing this, I'm in the hara point.
Hmm.
When I'm focusing on the sensation. So basically, my idea is that we can learn to, to be in the sensation mode all the time. And we can at the same time have our thoughts running and have some feelings to ourselves and to other people. So basically, we can be empathetic and we can feel sympathy, we can feel understanding at the same time, but while we are in the sensing mode. This is explanation of hara point. And I learned it from the books, from samurai books. I can show you if you want. I can show you a couple of books.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. It's really hard to prioritize. It's really hard to prioritize. I can tell you that was my first book. Up,
Oh,
just a
it's
second. Just a
yeah,
second. Just a second. Let me take blur the background off. That's the first book, Total Mind Body Training, a guide to peak athletic performance by Jacob Jordan, MD. Um, then I got this book, The Book of Five Rings. This is in Danish, but this is
okay.
by Miyamoto Musashi. This is the book that is 300 years old.
Wow.
That's the book where the samurai explains the most known samurai for 300 years ago. And then I bought this book because was his kind of a sparring partner. It's also 300 years old book, The Life-Giving Sword, Secret Teachings from the House of Shogun. And his name is Munenori,
Hmm.
Yagi Munenori. And then I got this book called Transparent Power, um, also from a martial
Wow.
artist. Um, um, Physical, that's an interesting book, Secrets of the Pelvis for Martial Arts, for Tai Chi and Bagua
Hmm.
Kung Fu. And that's because I was working a lot, as I told you, I was working with posture very much. I was working with structure because I saw that my structure was compromised. And that was a very nice book. And then I got this book. Um, that's the oldest Hara book. It's written 100 years ago. It's called
Hmm.
Hara, the Middle of the Man. Karl Fried Graf von Dürkheim. So that's an old book around, I think it's around 100 years old book. And the most important book in my, and then I got this book. It's called Key to Psychology.
Huh.
It's a psychology and energy primer by my teacher, Stefano Sabetti. This is a philosopher and Aikido also master. So
Huh.
those books really changed my life in my understanding of how to handle my everyday life, where to be, what to go after, which way to go, what to prioritize. So this is a lifelong learning, and I'm learning. I'm not only teaching, I'm learning a lot myself. I still have some of my teachers that I follow that I did not mention here, but there's some people also that I follow. And, I feel like life is different because I have a direction and also I enjoy every moment. So the idea is to really enjoy, also try to enjoy every moment. It's not possible to enjoy every moment, I believe, but be able to be present and to maintain the presence. And that's what Hara training helps me. So basically, I'm telling you about the app. I have an app,
Yep.
and there's a three meditations. There's a morning meditations, evening meditations. Morning meditations is a diminished breathing meditations where you hear my voice, and I'm telling you what to do, basically how to relax and which muscles to relax. And you know, Max, you know these meditations. So basically, it start your day in the quiet mode. It's basically give you energy for your day. And if you do it every morning, and I've did it every morning for like 15 years. So you aim for a gentle, pleasant air hunger, very light air hunger through relaxation. And you focus on your hara point at the same time. You sense your belly for 15, 20 minutes. And evening you do the same, but in the evening, when you do it effectively, you really make your sleep effective to really revitalize your cells, and your muscle cells feel relaxed, and your sleep is very effective. And also, I have some daytime walking, diminished breathing. It's a special one. It requires mostly that people understand how to work with it, and mostly for the people on my program. But I also made it freely available in a free edition. But it requires to understand how to do 4-foot walking, not 4-foot jogging, which is much easier and people know about it. But something people don't know is how to do 4-foot walking, and that's what we some of the things that we learn, some of the unique things we learn on the program.
Wow. I didn't. So your app is has a free version of it, or it's like you
It's
can
a free
only.
version, yeah.
It's the same app though. Just shipped.
It's the same app. Yeah, it's the same app
Okay.
that you are using, but in a free edition, people can register for free. And if they want to join programs, you have some links in the app to join
Oh,
our metabolic health program.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Really
So
awesome. So
yeah,
those are the big practices that like for someone just starting out, you don't recommend them getting into any breathing exercise where you're holding your breath or anything like that. You just start with the diminished breathing meditations.
yeah, because you see, yeah, because of what the people really, you know, to take breath holds, it requires control. And athletes and people in the modern world, that's something they don't lack
Hmm.
normally, because basically the ability to be in control, that's what brings them to disease, as I see, to be in control all the time. With time, it depletes the energy, and the problem with that is that people cannot slip the control. And what they really have very, very hard time, and I can see it in my program, that people cannot understand how to relax really deeply. And what we are doing, I'm teaching people how to relax in movement. So, in movement relaxation. And I have a protocol, one of the protocols that are mine. It's called 5FF, um, 5 fitness fallacies.
Hmm.
And you probably know what I'm talking about. Basically, it's about understanding that in order to connect um, fitness with health, you need to not prioritizing so much anymore those 5 ways to measure your fitness that people always do. It's measuring on time, measuring on distance, measuring on speed, measuring on the grade of intensity, and measure on the amount of
What
uh,
like load weights?
no, yeah, repetitions, amount of
Right.
repetitions.
Okay.
Yeah. This is fitness. But if you want to connect fitness with health, you need to remove those two or diminish their value for you and understand the value of one thing. That's the ability to, that's the depth of relaxation in movement. That's the thing, the depth of relaxation in movement. And I'm a practitioner. I practice many different things, different musical instruments, sports, and everything. And I can see that this ability is the main ability that makes difference from a normal practitioner to a professional. That's the ability to the depth of relaxation in movement. And that's what I
Wow.
teach on my breathing program. It's called breathingfortennis.com.
That's really cool. It definitely aligns with my experience in fitness too. Um, Most of the time when I pushed myself super hard on the reps and the weight, and I would make really good progress. But then all of a sudden I would get injured or something would go wrong with the body. And the guy I've learned from this guy, Ben Patrick, who's knees over toes guy, maybe you've heard
I
that
know,
guy.
I know, I know, yeah.
So that's who I work for, and it's funny because what you were saying is he's never said that, um, but he always talks about pain-free exercise as his main
Exactly,
thing
exactly.
and
But the
relaxing.
main problem here, you see, is that people are in control all the time. When they are in control, they have so basically they have some very well formulated goal. And when you have a goal in your mind, the goal overrides your senses. That's the thing. So you are not really listening to your body. And if you're listening, you tend not to give a big value to what you hear your body's saying. So that's the direct way to injury.
Mm.
And I experienced it in myself in tennis. I had injuries all the time. 2 months out of 12 every year. And I played tennis for 40 years. So 2 months every year, it's injury time. And now
Wow.
I did not have injuries for. I play tennis every day now and with the biggest intensity that I ever played, but injury free.
What is maybe this could be like a good place to end the podcast, but like what does your daily training look like now? And I know your training is going to look a lot different than the people you work with, and there's not like a one set standard because I know that you have a lot of different exercises, and sometimes you tell your clients that find the ones that work for you. But I know you mentioned that you were training really hard and you were sleeping 4.5 hours, and now maybe you've lightened it up a little bit and you're sleeping more. So just what does that look like? Like how has it changed over the years? What exercises are you doing yourself?
So I'm doing kettlebells. I did kettlebells from my time in the Soviet Army, Red
Okay.
Army. I was number two in the Air Forces in kettlebells, and that's 40, almost 50 years ago, man. I'm gonna be 60 next year. So
Oh,
yeah, so I had a different muscles that I have now, but I trained all the time, and I was young. Um, in my weight category, it was I was 65 at that time. Now I'm 60. 60 kilos, 65
okay.
kilos before and 60 kilos now. So
How
so I
tall
don't
are you?
have I don't have those big muscles. I'm 168
Centimeter or yeah.
centimeters. Yeah,
Okay.
167. Yeah. So I'm not a tall guy. So, but what I basically what I want to say, I use kettlebells and I don't use big kettlebells as before. Before I used like 35, 36 kilos and 24 and 16. And now I don't use so much 24. I use 16, 12, 8, and 4.
Okay.
Basically because I'm playing a lot music. I'm playing a lot of guitar, and I don't want big muscles. And it's enough for me with just movement training, some with light weights for tennis agility.
Hmm.
And basically, the most of what I do, I'm doing on the court. So I'm playing instead. I don't do a lot of gym things.
And
Um,
how about the breathing exercises as well?
Breathing exercises. I am in my life. I made a transition from exercises to states. So I'm
Okay.
teaching people to come into the states, enjoyable states in different life situations. I mean, during the day. So during the day, we have different life situations. For example, we are sleeping, we are waking up, we are falling asleep first, we are sleeping, we are waking up. For all of those three situations, I have meditations for sleeping. I have a special position in my bed and taping for the night, every night. And I have meditations for morning. And then during the day, I am um, I am walking, and when I'm walking, I do uh, I do special kind of. I come into the special state when I'm walking with my dog, when I when I'm doing a 4 foot walking and diminished breathing. And this basically, these day meditations that is free, that is about that, is describing this state also.
Yep.
You can get it for free. And then I'm playing tennis 5 days after 7. Saturday, Sunday, I'm not playing. It's full. It's just taking it easy. But every day at 6 o'clock, I'm on court at 6 a.m. from 6 to 8. And then I'm bathing in the sea or in the swimming pool. And then I'm starting my day. So basically, during the day, I do some palavandals. If you know, it's a very small club bells. It's very small club bells where you kind of do sword exercises with very small weights.
Hmm.
It's called palavandals.
Okay.
You know what it is?
No, I'm looking it up now.
I can show you. Just a second.
Yeah. Oh. Uh, okay.
Then I
Do
have this.
you make those? Oh, wow. Okay. So they're weighted on the ends?
And then I have this big one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Then different.
Kettlebells.
So basically, palavandal, it's a handle that you screw on the bottles of different, like 1.5 liter bottle, a half a liter bottle, and then you take two and you do like a sword exercises with two swords. It's kind of emulate two swords.
Oh,
There's a lot of different syn- uh, exercises to synchronize both hands with the pelvis position and with your dynamics of your lower parts. Those are really really great because I had problems with my back, and now after this, it's not possible. I hope so to get problems with your back
wow.
anymore because I'm training my back and I'm training these. So basically, the body dynamics in a very very nice way.
Yeah. So
And
whenever you're doing physical exercises, you're also thinking about your breathing and you're relaxed and you're in that state, like
yeah,
you were
yeah,
saying.
and I really want to make something that brings me into the state where I'm enjoying also very much. I don't do anything now in my life that I don't enjoy. That's basically, yeah, my job. I enjoy my job. I stopped my career because I did not enjoy it. It was a lot of money, but I did not enjoy it. So I started like in 2009 a new life 16 years ago, where I started this my work with health and with uh, um, with stress resilience and with optimizing performance for athletes. So that's what I'm doing. And then I started working with health, with cancer, with metabolic disease. And now I really dreamed all my life to do the program for tennis. Now I'm actually making my site ready and a little program for breathing for tennis and also for solo guitar. So I'm not
Nice.
only doing a work with health that I'm enjoying very much, but also in some different directions. So basically, the idea is that slowly, slowly, with small steps, and it's called Kaizen process philosophy, with Kaizen
Hmm.
small steps that are not triggering stress, slowly, slowly moving in the direction that I really love.
Right. Just like challenging yourself a little bit more every day so it's not too big of a jump. but
Exactly,
you're
exactly, exactly. So it's basically, I wouldn't say challenging because somehow when you're working this way, the process leads itself. I just know what I want to do today, and I really want to make it happen. Those things, those programs, and I'm also making a totally new concept now in health. I I uh, I do tailored meditations for people with serious health problems.
oh, you'll
I
make it like customized ones for them.
Yes, especially for
Oh,
people on my intensive program with cancer. I made I made meditations for their particular diagnose and for their particular life situation. So I make an interview and I make 25 to 30 minutes meditation that is based on my knowledge in Jose Silva visualization techniques and
wow, that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, and different other techniques also, meditation techniques, visualization techniques. So, and it's really great. I started doing this. I was kind of making it ready for several months, and now I'm producing them for my clients right now, and they're very, very happy. It helps them a lot. That was missing this kind of meditations,
That's cool.
basically. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I feel like that's probably a good spot. I feel like we wrapped up a lot of the breath work and we probably could dive into it again and go even deeper, but is there anything else you wanted to say on it?
Yeah, basically, there's something about about how to measure, and
Right.
yeah, you had remember you
About the Bolt score. Yeah, because
the
that's
bolt
such
score.
a,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
the CP or, yeah.
So basically, bolt score it's a term of Patrick McCune,
Yep.
his system, and I stick to the original definition. It's a
Okay.
Buteyko
Okay.
control pause, and maximum pause, and the correlations between those two, and everything is about correlation between those two because I'm using it in the program to really show people how they are measuring and what they can do better. So basically, yeah. So and it's easy to measure. You sit upright, relaxed. You can also sit in the chair. Original Buteyko would sit upright, relaxed with crossed legs,
Mm.
touching each other under the your chair, and
Mm.
then you relax like 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, normal breathing, not controlling the breathing. Then you, when you're ready, after you look um, at your pattern, breathing pattern, inhale, exhale, pause, inhale, exhale, pause, and after the pause, right before the inhalation, you pinch your nose and start a timer. So basically, and then you stop the timer at the first natural kind of urge to breathe. Not when you're about to pass out, but at the first feeling of discomfort.
Mm.
Yeah, that's your number. That will be your CP, your control pause in seconds. And
So
if it's
what does that look like? Is it like, what are some of the signals for that?
so basically, if it's according to Buteyko system, it shows the level of your health basically because it connects. The CP is a kind of a universal regulator of health in this system, and it's basically right. And I'm learning a lot how CP regulates everything. And the latest thing I'm writing now about cancer, it's how CP regulates, normalizes glutamine as being one of the major fuels for cancer cells. So when your CP is going up, it normalizes the use of glutamine and it makes so basically less glutamine available for cancer cells. And
Wow.
this is really a great thing that I've been working on this the last 10 years and I've been getting information. Now I'm reading, now I'm writing a big article about this. So basically CP is control pause is a great thing. Normally people when come with cancer to my program, it's around 5 or 10. In good situation, 15, 20. And there's a, as you understand, 5 seconds, it's like very bad, it's very bad situation. So people are breathing for 3 people or 4 people, they're over breathing 4 times or 3 times. And if it's 40, it's good. It's in modern world, it's good. In Buteyko world, original, it's 60. So for me, I stick to original Buteyko. For me, 60 is good. 60, that's what I'm working with my clients. I want them to have 60 stable. And some people get not 60 but 120. Some of
Wow.
the people on my programs train really seriously. They get up to 120. I never myself had it. Um,
Where did you get to and where are you at now?
I am around the 60. So I'm not exaggerating because you have to train a lot to maintain the level of
120.
basically in order to maintain 60 you have to really do something because otherwise it will go down.
Hmm.
You need to do something with your health in order to make it 60 and maximum pause 90, um, around that. So, but some people in my program, they reach 120 to 180. So it's 3 minutes maximum pause and 2 minutes control pause until they feel the first urge to breathe after exhalation. Not after inhalation, but after exhalation.
Yep.
So it requires a lot. And I have a lot, I have charts I can show you with how people did it. So I have charts for all of my clients. So basically, I can document all of the things and all of the processes because we have measuring. Actually, in my app, the whole measuring system is freely available also
That's cool.
for everybody.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So again, look, it's not a competition. CO2 tolerance, it's not a competition. It's kind of your dashboard of your health. So, and the beautiful part in CP, it gives us an instrument, so you can basically change that number with the different practices, and it's a big investment in your health. So the big takeaway is this: sometimes, and very often, the fastest way forward is to slow down.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So breathe less, live more. Yeah. And actually, you can, if you train this in a structured way, you can be amazed at what your body can do when you stop getting in its way. Okay.
That's awesome.
So if it sparks something in you guys, so just try one of those practices this week, and we'll give
Well,
you.
are you gonna put your app in
Yeah,
the description
yeah,
or something?
yeah. Basically, it's called uh, ship2.life. Ship2.life. That's my app. It's a yeah, it's a cross-platform app. It's a web app, cross-platform app. So, and if you have anything to say, so comment under our video or write, come back and tell me. So, if you have anything interesting to ask me, I love good questions. I love good questions. So, and maybe your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. I don't know. So,
Wow.
we
That
can
was awesome.
inspire each other very, very much. And Max, thank you very much for um, coming with questions. And you are
Of course.
always very inquisitive, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, Misha.
Anything? Yeah. Anything other to say?
I think, are you still recording?
Yeah.
Okay. I have nothing else. Yeah, I
Okay.
think
Okay. Okay.
just
Okay.
I love the app. Like if anyone's actually listening there, sitting, thinking about doing it, it's definitely really powerful. Just even the tracking, and I use your meditations every day. And honestly, my CP has been stagnant for a long time, so I think I just need to increase my volume of training of some kind. I need to do more meditations, more consistency. Um, so
Good
this kind of
idea. Good
motivated
idea.
me. Yeah.
Absolutely. I can share. I can show the app just a second. Here is
Yeah.
the app. As you can see here, it says ship to life. You see ship to dot life. And here you can register You can register here, enter name and email. Oop. And so basically, and then you can log in. And here you can change the language
Hmm.
from English to Russian. Yeah. So that's what it is.
That's awesome.
And if you want to start a course, you can do it from here.
Nice.
Okay. Thank you very much for this. It became it's a little bit longer than we
That's
intended,
okay. I enjoyed it a lot.
I enjoyed it too. Love you guys, and thank you, Max. See you again
You're welcome.
soon.
Yeah.
Love you. Bye.